Yo, this guy's name keeps popping up, so we need to have a conversation about Markquese Bell. Yo, what's going on, Cowboys fans? Foots here. Good energy. I'm feeling good. I actually had a video shot for y'all this morning. I didn't like the way the quality came out, so I'm actually running it back at the house. I was trying to do the car vibes, but I didn't use this camera, so it came out kind of. But it's all good. Warm in the DC area, and now I want to talk about Markquese Bell, FAMU safety, now on the Cowboys. One of the best players in the black college HBCU circuit, and now he is a Dallas Cowboy. So around this time every year, people latch on to undrafted free agents, UDFAs, and they start, I would say, getting kind of crazy. and it's because maybe, you know, everybody wants to root for the underdog, but the truth is, for whatever reason, maybe these guys haven't seen this level of competition, or they're slower, they're not as twitchy, or whatever reason, they become UDFAs, and we see the highlights, but we don't really talk about the lowlights and why they were undrafted. But Markquese Bell is a little different. Okay, he was a Maryland commit. He has great size. He's about 6'2", 6'3", 205, so he looks the part. You hear Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy give him that J-Ron Curse role-esque. And I think, and we'll talk about this later, he could possibly be a J-Ron Curse replacement. But he was a Maryland commit, then went to a JUCO, and then had just the crazy numbers in production at FAMU. But it was tackle production, not coverage production, and that's what we need to talk about. So, who is Markquese Bell? Negatives, positives. Some of the positives, we'll start with the positives. Some of the positives about his game is that he is just super, super physical. I'm talking about runs the alley, meets you in the hole, and you are going down. No fear whatsoever in his game. And he really uses that to make a big crunch and sway, you know, momentum. And one thing about football guys is those players will always have a role, because whether it's special teams, whatever the case may have you, those players will have a role because they got this, they got that heart, okay? And the heart muscle is either you have it or you don't. And you know, he has it. Really good tackler. When he sees it, he goes. The only issue with his tackling sometimes is that he just wants to lay that shoulder into you. In the film that I watched, the UCF game, the Bethune-Cookman game, he lays his shoulder into you, he goes. But the problem with that is, in the league, you're going to have to become a more square, sound tackler, running your feet on each tackle, because in the league, you're playing backs where they're going to bounce off just contact. It doesn't matter how big the pop is, they are going to bounce off contact. But the willingness and the see it go, big nickel, he can do that. Negatives. The coverage isn't terrible, it's just not his strong suit. So I'm not going to use him in a, you know, put him on the back half and let him roam. That's not his game. You want him closer, near the box, diagnosing run plays, diagnosing quick plays, and seeing it and getting downhill. Really plays a lot like J-Ron Curse. And with what you're hoping is this, because I'm not putting him on the roof. Not year one, not year two. With the coaching, maybe, but you just don't see that in his game. Malik Hooker has that. That's just what he does. The hips are looser. He just has that in his bag. Bell doesn't. One of the things that was interesting about Bell when I did the study was the straight line speed was outstanding. That's what you see when you see him run the alley. He's a 4.41 guy, 4.4, somewhere in the 4.4s. The short shuttle was not. So it's like the quick twitch burst, change of direction, the hips opening up, getting to a spot. And you saw it on film kind of stiff. When a receiver gave him something, it was kind of looked kind of hard. That's okay if you have a role. What does Dan Quinn do? He has roles for his athletes. Once you get him in the Cowboys, they're now yours. You have to have a role. So that's kind of who he is. Let's talk about where he fits on this team. To me, he fits as a special team player one. Okay, you want to make this team, Markquese Bell, I hope that you're watching. You want to make this team, you need to go talk to Bones Fossil. You need to get in his ear. You need to do everything you can do to run down on kicks, on special teams, and go lay somebody out. Two, injure safe. Like, if somebody, you need to be that guy that if Kurtz goes down, if he has a shoulder ding, if Malik Hooker goes down, and Donovan Mitchell was really kind of the lost. You just, so much promise for him, but you're just waiting for him to take that jump. Mitchell goes down, anything, McQuamu, because they do like McQuamu's size, and he actually has some of that roof ability as well. One of those guys get injured, Bell needs to be there. He can't afford an injury in camp. I'm going to say that now. When you're a UDFA, you can't afford an injury in camp. I know they gave you the money, the extra little bit of money the Cowboys did, but he cannot afford an injury in camp. He needs to be there every rep. He has to fight through camp to make sure that his name keeps getting called. He had the interception. Mike McCarthy got his name in the paper. Guess what? Keep making those plays. Keep having Dan Quinn talk about you. You made that play, and even if it's OTAs. This is what I tell people. People will come and say to me, oh, it's OTAs. It doesn't matter. Any football activity you're doing, you want to get paid. You want your name to be seen. Do it. Compete. I don't care if we doing indies. Be the best in indies. Like, be the best. That's what's going to get him on the field. We're talking about him. We're talking about an undrafted free agent. So this is where he fits. He has to do these things to actually get himself on the field. Okay, now let's talk about, will he make the team? I'm going to go out on a statement in a bold and a limb and say he will make the active 53-man roster. For whatever reason, injuries. I don't know if McQuamu has the grit that he has. We'll see. But I think that because of just his play style alone, and I think that when the pads come on, it'll really show just how gritty and aggressive and just the biggest thing for him, I'm going to say that he will, but the biggest thing for him is how does he adjust to the difference in competition? Because at FAMU, you never saw a receiver like CeeDee Lamb. At FAMU, you never saw a receiver like James Washington. So when you have to do those things in coverage and you have to carry Dalton Schultz, you have to do these, and they're doing so many things offensively to stress you out, can you still make plays? I believe that he will. I believe he's a fighter. I believe that he's gritty. I was reading some stuff about how his whole thing is he's from Jersey and he wants to get his grandmother. You need those type of stories to keep you going. I believe that he will make the team. Cowboys fans, what are your thoughts? You guys saw some of the film playing. You guys saw some of what he's able to do. What do you guys believe? You see his length. What do you guys think that he will be? Will he make the team? Will he be a practice squad guy? Will they just kind of stash him? Is he the real deal? He keeps coming up, so we had to talk about him. Markquese Bell, you guys let me know. I got more videos coming, like I said, once a week. I may even do 2 this week because it's the second week of OTAs. I think they're doing another installment of OTAs. So news will be popping up, and I'll be here to talk to you guys about it. It's your boy Foots. As always, thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Hey!